Good morning. I'm doing a tutorial today which is a little bit out of sort of unusual for me. I don't usually do many that are just the basic techniques, but my daughter started doing a little bit of crochet, and as much as she's not far away from me, she's literally over the road. We're not really allowed in anybody's houses. We can go to the sort of waving at the bottom of the garden at the kids and things like that, but we're not supposed to go in each other's houses because we're on full lockdown here. So as much as I'm trying to teach her sort of over the phone and things like that, it's not so easy. She's got a granny square sorted and she wanted a popcorn stitch. Now this is a popcorn stitch square. I think she's planning on making some cushions. She's doing a granny square blanket and then she wants some cushions. So we're going to be doing this today. Popcorn, love it, love it, love it as a stitch. I've done so many designs where I've started as a granny, then I've put in some popcorns, and then you can make shapes in popcorn inside a granny square. It is just a lovely stitch, and I think it is really simple. When you know what it is and you understand what it is, it's a very simple stitch. So this was done on a 3.5mm hook. I'm actually going to use a 4 today. A little bit more clarity with a 4. It's a little bit tighter with the 3.5, which is my preference, but you'll know from your own tension which hook works for yourself. I think a 4 is a great beginner hook. That is why I've gone for that also. So that is what we're going to be doing. I have my little stitch marker here, not really needed, but just to mark out some pointers that I want to show you. I've got in. This is our little Ernest, which was actually the original drawing of my daughters of a little unicorn, and then ultimately we had them made into these little acrylic charms, and now I've had them made into little stitch markers. I'm using a double knit yarn, just a bog standard yarn. I think for practice as well, like I've given her some wool at the moment, which is just some basic wool, just to practice is a good thing. She's going to order herself some other wool though as well at the moment. So we're going to start with a slip knot. Move that slightly to one side. I love the textures of a popcorn stitch as well. It sort of really gives sort of a, I don't know, it sort of feels more sort of luscious because it's thick as well. So here we go. We're going to start off with 6 chains. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We're going to join those 6 to make a little circle. So we're going to go into our first one. We're going to grab our yarn and pull it through 1 and pull it through 2. So it's a slip stitch. I'm just going to tighten that up where the knot is, and you should be left with this little hole. Now if you're finding that hard, or if you're really tight on your tension, you can maybe put 7 stitches in just to make it a little bit bigger, but it doesn't really matter. So we're going to start with 3 chain. 1, 2, 3. Every single round is going to start with 3 chain. This 3 chain is an equivalent to a treble, so it is counted. Not always in some patterns are they counted, but it is in this particular situation. Please remember I'm using UK terms as well, so this is our treble. That is why it's 3 chain, because the treble is required a 3 chain. So we're going to go yarn round into the circle, pull it through. We have 3 on the hook. We pull through 1, we pull through 2, which is our treble. Yarn round, in, pull through 2, pull through 2. We need the equivalent to 5 of these, but we are counting that chain, so I need 4 trebles. So that's 2 trebles, 3 trebles and 4 trebles. Pull it out a little bit because I'm going to take my hook out, and this is where the magic begins for our popcorn. First one's more difficult because we're going to try and get in the top of that 3 chain. After this first one, it's not so bad because you're going in the top of the treble, but to start with we need to sort of dig into the top of that 3 chain, which can sometimes be awkward if your stitches are a bit tight. We're going to grab this loop, we're going to tighten it before we move it anywhere, and I'm going to try and tip it sort of sideways so you can see it. I'm pulling it through, yeah, and then I'm tightening it. So I'm going to now do 4 chain. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to do 5 more trebles to make another popcorn. So we need 1, 2, the hole's looking a bit more visible now, so it makes it easier. 3, 4 and 5. Pull the loop a little bit longer, just so you don't lose it. That you may not need to do that, but it just means you're not going to undo it while you're messing about with this side. We're going to work along to our 5th. You can see the posts if necessary. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 all the way up to the top of the 5, and we have our stitch. We're going to grab the loop, we're going to tighten it, we're going to twist a little bit and pull it through. Make sure it's nice and tight, and 4 chain. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I'm referring to a 5 treble popcorn here. I'm referring to 4 chains, and I will be doing 3 chains in a while. They are all different. This is a method, it's not the method. So if you look in a book, someone else might say, oh, it's only 4 treble popcorn, or it could even be a 3, depending on the pattern design. You might have less chains in between. So always check your pattern. Don't just presume this is the only way. This is one way. So we're going to do our 5 trebles again. So we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, my stitch split then. Take it out if it splits. 3, 4, and 5. Lengthen a slight, along to the 5th, into the top, grab the yarn, tighten it, twist it, and pull it through. 4 chain. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we have one more to do because we need 4 little sets of popcorn in this first round. So another 5 trebles. So you're just joining your 5 trebles together really. So it's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take it out, find the first, grab the loop, little twist and pull it through. We need 4 chain, even though we do need to slip stitch into this one. So we need 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to slip stitch into the back of this one because it's where it actually joined. You can't sort of go in here, it'll look a bit messy. You need to go into where you join that stitch together. Okay, so we're just going to do a slip stitch and tighten. Now what we've got there is we've got our first 4 popcorns, but these 4 chain are going to be where our corners are going to start. Now, like with a granny square, and if we look at this, I nearly lost that, we have 2, 2, 2. In our corners are always lines of 2. You can see where they line up, whereas the others are just like individual popcorns on the side. So I always say corners are 2 sets, sides are 1 sets. So we need to get into this chain, so we're going to actually slip stitch into it. So now we're in position. Like I said, we start with 3 chain. 1, 2 and 3 does count as our first treble. Just unwind this yarn a little bit before it rolls on the floor. There we go. So I now need another 4 because this counts as our first. So 4 trebles. 2, 3 and one more 4. Taking it out, as I said, it's a little bit more difficult getting into the top of that 3 chain, so it's best you can for that one, and twist and pull through. Now we need 4 chain because this is going to be a corner piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, corners are 4 chains always. Yarn round, back into the same one. So we're going, because it's a corner, we want 2 sets in the same space. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take it out, find our first, into the top. You can see I'm picking up both pieces as well, grabbing it, not lose my yarn off the table. I know it's going to roll off, desperately trying to keep it there, and then twist and pull through, and now that is our corner. So the next piece here isn't actually a corner, so it's only going to have 3 in. 1, 2 and 3 chain. Then we're going to jump into this space, which is going to be our corner, so we need 2 sets. So we need 5 treble popcorn, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take the hook out, hook into the first, grab our yarn, little twist and pull it through. Now this is a corner, so 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. It gets a little bit more easy to see when you get onto your next round. At the moment we're doing sort of just corners, but these need to only be 3s in between. So 4 when it's between the 2 popcorns. That's 3, 4 and 5. This is just going to be rolling everywhere. I really should be putting a basket on the floor. I've got baskets everywhere, but they're all full of yarn rather than what they should be. So let's take that out top of the first, grab it through, make sure it's tight, twist and pull. Now that was our corner. This next bit here isn't our corner, so I'm going to do in 3. 1, 2 and 3. The next one into the 4 chain space is a corner. So basically, if it's in where the 4 chain space is, you need a popcorn, 4 chain, a popcorn. If it's anything else, it's only going to be 3 chain. So into this corner here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take it out, put it into the top of the first one and pull it through. Now if I'm going a little bit fast at certain points here, please slow me down in the settings. I think just to see me, sometimes you don't need to worry about my voice, so you can sort of slow it down and maybe turn the volume down, because obviously my speech slows down as well. So this was a corner still, wasn't it? So I need 4 chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4 into the same space because it's a corner. Popcorn trebles, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take it out, find our first one, into the top of it, little twist, pull it through. Now this little bit here isn't a corner because this is our corner, so I only need 3. 1, 2 and 3. This is a corner because it's in that 4 chain space, and in we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 into the top of the first, grab, twist, pull through. Now this is a corner this time because you can see we've got the 1 when we need a second one, so that means we need 4 chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4 into the space with our second popcorn for this corner. So that's 2, 3, 4 and 5. I think you need to be relatively confident on your trebles to do this stitch. If you're not sure, I do have a basic granny square tutorial. That's the one my daughter's been following. So into the top of the first, grab it, pull it through. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3, because it's not a corner next, because we've already got our 4 corners. So we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the top at the back. So that's our second round complete. Now for counting rounds, it's usually easier if you follow down where your 2s are. I go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is 5 rounds. We've done 2. So I'm going to slip stitch. So we've got a corner. In fact, let me explain this a little bit better. Right, so where your 2s are your corners, yeah? So we have our 4 corners. See if I can slip them onto my fingers to show you. So we have 4 corners. So I've stretched it out so you can see it. Right, move my finger out of that one. But you can also see we have sides. We have 1, 2, 3 and 4 sides this time. Now into our corners, which is where our 4 chains are, you're going to be doing 2 sets of the popcorn with 4 chain in between. But here you're only going to do 1 set of popcorn, and in between either side of that it's just 3 chain. So as long as you remember, corners are 4 chain, anything else is 3. I think that's the easiest way of doing it. But you can see how the shape is coming, because like I said, I'm really stretching that out. So we're going to set off with our next round. So first we slip stitch into our corner, and then we do 3 chain, which counts as our first treble, and off with our 4 trebles. So we only need 4 because of the chain. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. At least it's easy to count when they're trebles. And that's our 5th. For the first one, it's top of the 3 chain, grabbing the loop and pulling it through. And because it is a corner, 4 chain. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And into this one, I'm going to do another popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, need 1 more, and 5. Take it out into the top, grab the loop, little twist and pull it through. Now the next one isn't a corner, is it? It's a side, remember. So I'm just going to do 3, 1, 2, 3, but I'm also going to stop there. I don't generally, for myself, use stitch markers, but earlier when I was going through this, I, for some reason, got distracted and I just started going round and round and round and I missed my start point. It is relatively clear, it's there, but when you get around to here, sometimes it can be missed. So all I'm going to do is pop my stitch marker into my first one. So I know that that is where I'll be doing my finish point. So we've just done 3, haven't we? And like with a granny square, if you're used to granny squares, this next one isn't a corner. It's just one set. So we just need 5 treble popcorn. So that's 2, 3, 4, oh, and 5. Take it out, pop it into the top of the first, grab your chain, tighten it, pull it through. Now this isn't a corner, this is just a side, so just 3, 1, 2 and 3, okay? But this one here is going to be a corner. So if it's a corner, it's 1 set of popcorn, 4 chain, 1 set of popcorn. So off we go for this corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take it out, pop it into the top of the first one, grab, twist and pull, 4 chain because it's a corner. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's our first of the corner. We need another set. That's, if you're used to granny squares, you'll get what I'm saying, but if you're not, you might not. So it's 2, 3, 4 and 5, oh, not 5 and 5. Take it out, hook into the top of the first, grab it and pull it through. Now the next, our corner completes. The next bit's not a corner, so we only need 3, 1, 2 and 3, okay? Because the next stitch is a side stitch. Can you see? Because these corner, corner, side. So just 1 popcorn. That's 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take it out, pop it into the top one and pull it through. So only 3 stitches because it's not a corner. 1, 2 and 3. Next one is a corner though, so we need a popcorn set, 4 chain, a popcorn set. So we need our 5 trebles, three, 4 and 5. Take it out, pop it into the first one, grab the loop, tighten it first, pull it through, 4 chains this corner. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And back into the same space as it's a corner. 1, 2, 3. Just realised I think I'm filming a lot closer than I normally do. That might work. I know it might work better actually. So what have I got there? 3, 4 and 5. Take it out into the top of the first one and pull it through. Now the next bit isn't going to be corner, that's your corner done with. So when your corner's done with, there's only 3 chain next. 1, 2 and 3. We have a side, so 1 popcorn cluster. Popcorn cluster, can you call it a popcorn cluster? I don't know, I suppose so. But a cluster is a separate stitch. 4 and 5. Take it out, put it in and pull it through. It's not a side, it's not a corner, should I say, so remember just 3, 1, 2 and 3. Next one is a corner, so we need 2 sets and 4 chain, don't we? So that's 2, so we've got 3 there, haven't we now? That's 4 and 5. Let me move over a little bit into the top of that first one, grab it and pull it through. It is a corner, so 4 chain. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Another set into the same space because it's a corner. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, hook out into the first, grab the loop, pull it through. The next bit's not a corner, so it's just 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. See, we're almost there because we've got our little stitch marker there to remind us. This is still a side now, so it's just one set if it's a side. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, into the top, pull it through, only 3 because it's not a corner, 1, 2 and 3. So you can see now we're back. Now it's very easy, like I said, to have missed that, and you just carry on and you do it there. So that is why I've popped the stitch marker in. So I'm going to take it out now because I'm going to move it along with each corner. We need our slip stitch join in the back of the popcorn, and we need our slip stitch into the corner, ready to start our next line. I'm just going to give it a little stretch so you can see. Every now and again it's worth giving it a little stretch anyway, because if you're a little bit tight. So can you see what we've got there now? They pop my fingers into the corners again. But this time you have your corners where my fingers are, but you can see we have 2 sides now. So if each one's got 2 sides, we've done okay. So only the corners have the 4 chain. Anything in between here will only have 1 set of popcorns in these spaces with 3 chain in between each time. So we can set off. So how many have we done now? 1, 2, 3. That's 3 rounds. And you can already see we've got a nice little sort of square come in there. So I might move a little bit quicker now, just to sort of sorry. Oh, I've got my mum phoning me now. I swear people know I'm doing this, so they start phoning me. So we've slip stitched into the corner, so we start with 3 chain. And we're going to do 4 trebles, because remember our 3 chain counts as that treble. So that's 4 and 5. Let's join it together. So I don't like joining it in the chain. It's always hard to get it into position properly. Right, now it's a corner, so 4 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. And into the same space we have another set of popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 1 more stitch. As I'm not sure whether I have mentioned, but sometimes you will get popcorn stitches that aren't 5. They could be 4, they could be 3. This is just a version, remember, not the only version. It is a type. So let's pull this through. Now it's not a corner now, so only 3. 1, 2 and 3. And you can see our 2 sides there. And so we're going to this one first. 1 popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously it takes a lot longer than a granny square because there's like 5 stitches in there. Normally there'd only be 3, but it does give that sort of density and textural effect. So it's not a corner, so it's only 3. 1, 2 and 3. And we have another side, so just 1 popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Into the top, pull it through. Now only 3. 1, 2 and 3. Right, I just want to stop a second because I didn't pop my stitch marker back in, did I? Like I say, I wouldn't normally if I was just sat working on my own, but I just think it's good sort of to give you an idea where the start point is. So let's take this out, and we're going to go. You can see it's a corner next, because you see how that you get these lines, so you know they're your corners. So this is a corner. So we need a popcorn set, 4 chain, a popcorn set. So this is 3 stitches, 4 stitches and 5. Take it out into the top, pull it through, 4 chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Take your time with those chains. I say you don't have to do them fast. You need them neat and and I've just kicked the camera. You need them neat and precise. So off we go. Our second set of popcorn in that same space. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Nearly missed 5 there. into the top of the first one, grab the loop, pull it through, not a corner anymore, so just 3, 1, 2 and 3, but we have a side, so it's just 1 popcorn, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, take it out into the top, pull it through, just 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, because we have another side, so 1 popcorn only, that's 2, 3, 4 and 5, into the top, pull it through, only 3, 1, 2 and 3, because our next one is a corner. We need our 1 set, 4 chain, 1 set, all in that same space. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, four chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4, second set into that corner, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, take it out into the top, it doesn't want to go in that one, there we go, pull it through, only 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, because our corner's over and done with, so we're almost halfway round on this one. So we have 2 sides, so we do 5 trebles, 2, 3, 4 and 5, pull it out into the top and pull it through, 3 chain only, 1, 2 and 3, into the next side one, just a 5 treble popcorn, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the top, grab the loop, pull it through, only 3, 1, 2 and 3, because it isn't a corner, is it? So we have another corner coming up though. This is our next corner, and into that 4 chain space you're going to have a popcorn, 4 chain and a popcorn, so it's 1, 2, oh, bit of purple fluff there, it's going to, must have been in with a purple ball of wool, let's just get rid of that a minute, so that's 3, 4 and 5, take it out, pop it in and pull it through, 4 chain because it's a corner, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the second one in that space. Number 4, 1 more, number 5, take it out, pop it in the first one, pull it through, only 3 chain now, 1, 2 and 3, because we have just 2 more sides to do, 2 more side pieces, so it's a popcorn, that's 4, that's 5, take it out, top of the first one, tighten it up and pull it through, 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, last side, 1 popcorn, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, only 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. We can take our stitch marker out because we're back to that corner. Oh, doesn't want to come out. Ah, stuck to my nail. Don't lose that either. Right, and then I'm going to do just my slip stitch in the back of that and pull it through, and I'm going to stop for a second again. So we have 4 rounds. You do need to give it, hold the corners, give it a little stretch, hold the corners, give it a little stretch, give it a little stretch. So you can see how sort of this one's got more holes than this one. That's just because that's on a 3.5mm hook, but you have your corners here. So you might need to, if you were doing lots of these, if you're going to be making a blanket or anything, it might be worth blocking them sort of just to get these corners nice and sharp. Obviously, the bigger you go, the easier it goes. So at the moment, counting from the corner ones, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. What did I say here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I said there were 5, wasn't I? I don't know what that is. I'm not going to do any more. But what I am going to explain is, if you're used to doing a granny square, I would not oh, I'm determined to knock this over. If I kept my feet still, I'd be all right. But I keep shuffling my feet and the tripod sort of splays out, and that's what I've ended up kicking. Now, as I say, I'm not going to do any more. I wouldn't say this is a beginner's thing. If you are confident with a granny square, I think this is easy. But you may need to get used to your stitches. You need to be confident with your trebles. You need to be happy with what you're doing. Or if you're just used to doing popcorns on something else, you might find this quite easy. But I'd say anybody can do it, but I would recommend you feel quite confident with a granny square, because essentially it's a granny square but using popcorns. That is what it is. So if you want sort of a little bit closer up so you can see where our stitches are, so it looks like a little flower in the centre there. And then, as I say, you can see, you can count your corners as they go down. You'll know if you're doing right because you'll get a line of the holes on each corner. That is what you need to see, so you know that you're doing it right. Now, as we started with, we had 1 on the side, didn't we? And on the next round, we had 2 on the side. And as you can see, next time, 1, 2, and 3, just like a granny square, we've got 3 on the side. And it will carry on like that. The 4th row, next row we'll have 4, and then we'll have 5, we'll have 6, and you can just grow and grow and grow and make it as large as you want. It does take a little bit of time because, as I say, with a granny that would only be 3 trebles, wouldn't it? So it goes quite fast. Whereas this is 5 trebles, then you have to join it. So it takes a little bit longer. But I do think, because of its textural sort of effect, for want of a better word, I think it's well worth it. I absolutely love popcorns. I prefer them way over clusters. So that's all I'm going to do. You can just carry on and carry on. It is the same always. It's just always 4 chains in the corners, but only 3 on your sides. That's all you really need to know. So we're going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching this. I'm hoping my daughter can follow it easy. I can imagine I might get some phone calls later. But I think I've done it relatively clear. If it's a little bit too fast, just slow it down and you can sort of see how I'm going. Or maybe watch the video first and then come back to it and have a little go. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe and share. We've got a little bit of amigurumi coming up. Let me just grab him. Yay, we got a little carrot. Sort of, I know it's sort of semi-Easter themed, maybe because we got Easter Bunny, makes great play food as well, things like that. So he's coming up next. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.